We're looking at algebraic simplifications. What? You'll have to get the notes. Remind me at the end of class, and I will. Yeah. Simplification? Yeah, simplifications. When you're dealing with fractions, you can multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same thing. It doesn't change the value of your fraction. Y'all remember that? Is that the same thing? Just added an a to the 1. 1 times a is just a. 2 times a, 2a. You could also make it 10 over 20. Same thing, right? Whatever you do to the numerator, you have to do to the denominator. We've had problems that are similar to this. An easier version of this. These aren't necessarily hard, they just take more steps. Where are we going to start simplifying? You always want to start at the bottom on these. You want to start with that 1 plus 1 over x. What would you do first? Okay, so 1 times x is x plus 1 over what? Make sense so far? And then you have a plus. We're going to do 1 because it's not always going to be a 1 there. And then times the reciprocal. But what is 1 times the reciprocal? Do you need the 1? So it's basically like that. Does that make sense? Since it's a 1, you don't really need it. Then you would multiply. Now what? Common denominator. Yeah, x plus 1. So a gets multiplied by what? So ax plus a plus, can any of these combine? All right, do all of the terms have the same thing? Anything we can reduce, divide out? So then this is our answer. We've done those, right? Okay. What's different about this one? A fraction under a fraction? Yeah, we've got more fractions inside of our fractions. You think you're going to, yeah, you want to start from the bottom. You think you can do these, though? They're just going to take a little bit of writing. You still want to start from the bottom. So where does that mean that you want to start? 1 plus 1 over x. So everything else stays the same. What would it become? see how that works? Now what are we going to do? We got to simplify this part. How do we simplify that? Alright, so A times what? Which is what? Yeah. If you can do that in your head, good. If not, just write it out. Any questions so far? Okay, now what? Okay, what would be the common denominator? What would it be? Right? Now what? Okay, so A times x plus 1. You can leave it like that, or you can write it as what y'all were about to say. Ax plus A over x plus 1 plus ax. I don't really care which way it is. It doesn't really matter. Any questions on those? Y'all see how they work? Do they take up a little bit of writing? Any questions on the concept of it, though? Okay. See if you can do this one. Someone brave enough to go try it on the board? What you see so far, is he right? Hmm? Do you agree or disagree? Which part? Did you have this part right? Okay, did you get this step? Good work, confusing. You have to write it very carefully. You start with this part. Common denominator is just a y. And then the x has to be multiplied by y. So you get xy plus 1 over y. Yes, c over xy plus 1 over y. And then you're looking at this part right here. You got a number and then a fraction underneath it. And so the y comes up here. He has cy over xy plus 1, which is what he has there. Xy plus 1. And then you ignore the b for now, and you make those two one fraction. So a xy plus a plus cy over xy plus 1. Does that make sense? That's what that is. And then you have a fraction over, or a number over a fraction. So you flip it. If it helps you to cover up the other parts that you're not looking at, that's fine. Any other questions on these? Do y'all understand how they work? All right. Your test is tomorrow.